This is Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You are listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there as we celebrate Father's Day 2017. Great that I have these fellas in the building with me from Live Oak Lounge and Grill. Mr. Shelby Johnson, what up, man?
What's going on, KG?
Seeing you outside of that kitchen, out from behind that bar. Looking good, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And from Harvard Boulevard, Brandon Eaton. What's up, bro?
How y'all doing today?
Good morning. Listen, happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, let's talk about being dads and running businesses and organizations. Now, Brandon, I want to start with you because, like, your story and how you started Harvard Boulevard is real interesting. So, tell us your story for those who may not be familiar with the shop, with the store, and your story.
We opened a store. Basically, it's a California-based men's clothing store. We're from California. My parents, being parents, they moved us out of inner city LA and moved us to Texas. And so it's just that was the theme that we went with whenever we open a store. And
so is it kind of like West Coast meets Southwest? Or?
Well, West Coast it's LA meets Texas, really. That's
okay.
what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay.
LA meets Texas. When you walk in our stores, like being on Melrose, you know, it's being on Melrose, Fairfax, that whole little area. So it's a pretty good vibe.
Yeah. I want to check out the store. Now, I understand you're in Third Ward.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had to stick to the community that we grew up in. So,
yeah.
You know, when we moved out here, we moved right down the street. We in Third Ward, friends in Third Ward, family in Third Ward. That's where we wanted to be. We wanted to be in the heart of Third Ward, so that's what we picked up.
No doubt. And talk about the things that you do in the community, because you guys do a lot. Not only is it a clothing store, but you also use your platform to do more in the community.
Man, we actually do a lot for the community. We sponsor AAU basketball teams. We have food drives, clothes drives, toy drives, back to school drives, and we just do it all for our community, just to give back. I mean, because when we were little, we grew up in LA. My parents, my father, my dad, my mom didn't have a lot, and we lived across the street from First AME Church in Los Angeles. And every Christmas, they would come, and it'd be this big white semi truck pull up every year, faithfully, and it'd be all the kids in the neighborhood lined up to get toys, and that's what we eventually want to get to. I want to be that white semi truck, pull up in the neighborhood, open the doors, and just hand out toys.
No doubt.
Hand out toys, school supplies, clothes, belts, ties. Like I'm trying to be that.
So why is it so important for you to want to give back?
Man, because I feel like it's a lot of kids out here that don't have fathers in their lives. Me, I was fortunate enough to have my dad pretty much every day of my life. You know, except for I went off to college, I can call him. You know, but he's been there forever. Him and my mom has been together, 35 years now? And so it's statistically, I feel that kids would be more successful with a male in their household.
No doubt. Excuse me. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Brandon Eaton and Shelby Johnson from Live Oak and Harvard Boulevard. Shelby, over there at Live Oak, y'all had a Father's Day brunch that went down yesterday. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. It was a good turnout. You know, we really appreciate, everybody that came and supported the event. Big shout out to Maverick Ray and Associates and Harvard Boulevard for, helping out and putting this thing together. We just wanted to show our appreciation, to the fathers of the community. There's this mantra, that there's, not a lot of black fathers that take care of their children. So we wanted to showcase those that do, the right thing and take care of things the right way.
I feel like in a way that we've kind of passed that part of society when it comes to us. I mean, now, today, for me personally, okay, I see more black men taking care of their children than what it was maybe 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. Like, I see you know, the late 20-year-old, the mid to late 20-year-olds who have children that are very present, you know, in their lives. Have y'all seen the shift and the culture
definitely.
change
I think there's
in that?
a big shift, you know, and I think you see the importance of, you know, children that grew up, you know, maybe not having that father figure in their life and how it, you know, negatively impacted them. So they want to make sure that that cycle doesn't continue. So, you know, I think it's been a real big change. And like I say, we're happy that we were able to showcase that.
Yeah, Shelby, I think that's exactly what it is, because I know some of my brothers and his friends, like, they say the same thing. Yo, my daddy wasn't there. I knew how bad it was when he wasn't there. I don't want the same thing, you know, for mine.
I think that is a major driving force in our community now, is because back in like the 80s, late 70s, 80s, early 90s, man, a lot of fathers weren't there. I can say mine was. But it was a lot of fathers. Me, I can count probably on one hand how many of my friends or people that I knew or still know to this day that had both parents in the same household. You know, some parents, they did co-parent, but in the same household, it's not that many.
It wasn't that many
from our age group.
Right.
You know, now you get these young kids, these guys are stepping up to the plate, and they're being daddies because, like I said earlier, man, statistically, our children have a better chance of being successful. You know what I'm saying? You want to provide them with a better chance than what you actually had. Now, you could have been successful with no father in your household, but statistically, your child would be better.
And to speak on it historically, I mean, just historically, they have kept the family unit, especially when it comes to black folks, apart from the time of slavery when we was on them ships, and they, you know, separated us from the time of auctioning us off, you know, separating us. Even the government themselves continues to separate the black family with, you know, baby girl is on Section 8 and she's getting, you know, food stamps and whatnot, but she cannot receive these services if the father of the baby that she has is living in that house. So even from a government standpoint, like it's just, oh my gosh, I can't even say the word because I'm so outraged by my emotion right now. Systemically, it is designed for us to not be together.
Yeah, and it was a big deal for us. We came up with the slogan, fathers keep families rooted. So that was a big thing for us to showcase. Like, you have to have that dynamic of, you know, having fathers, you know, in the household, and how that kind of completes everything and, you know, makes a family whole to have the mother and the father involved in that. Yeah,
absolutely, man. Shelby, can you speak on some experiences growing up, right?
You know, me, I was one of those kids that, you know, didn't grow up without my dad. We have a great relationship now. But when I was younger growing up, you know, I was raised by my aunt and uncle. So my uncle was more of my father figure growing up. So, I mean, I did have, you know, that advantage that you would say, to have someone show me, hey, you know, this is what it's like, you know, growing up being, you know, a black man. These are the challenges you're going to have to face. You know, these are the things that you're going to have to deal with as a black man growing up. And to be able to have that, you know, I want to be able to impart that, you know, on, you know, my kids and, you know, my nieces and nephews and cousins growing up, and to be that kind of same role model for those kind of people.
No doubt. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Shelby Johnson and Brendan Eaton from Live Oak and Harvard Boulevard, or respectively. It's Father's Day. Talking about being a dad and businessman. Man, just like you, bro. My daddy wasn't there. You know, it wasn't that the crack epidemic, you know, took him over like most in my age group growing up. No, my daddy was a musician, which means that he was a whore. So, you know, always on the road, always, you know, shooting some other woman's club up to pop out another kid. So, daddy wasn't there because he was too busy humping around. But then when he did show up, I remember twice where he showed up. First time I was about 10, 12-ish. And he came back. I guess him and his band was doing something. He came and got me and my brother, taking us, you know, to his new apartment, taking us to the studio and all that, spending this time. Went on for a great 2 weeks. And then disappeared. Didn't hear from him again. Ironically, on my 18th birthday, on the actual birthday, my mother had took me to Pizza Hut because I just wanted some pizza for my birthday. We at the Pizza Hut. We about to leave. Somebody's calling my name from across the street and calling my mama's name. And we look. She's like, oh, Lord. I was like, who is that? She's like, that's your daddy. I was like, what? And so he comes and, and we talk. And that summer, it was a cool summer. Like, we got to know each other. And then disappearing act again. And then he was gone. And so I was like, okay, I'm done with this one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then at that time, you want to step in and try to be dad, and I'm like, all the work is done. Like, mommy did all the work. Yeah, like, you can't step in now and try to be the authoritative figure. Like, it doesn't work like that. I don't think.
Nah.
It don't. You can't. You can't change the mindset of a grown man that you've never really been around.
Right.
And, it doesn't work that way.
Now, I mean, I guess we're cordial. When I go home and I see him, I'll speak, but there's really nothing really there. But I wish him the best. I mean, he's he's my dad. I mean, but
and there's so many situations like that, and you have these vivid memories of, when he was there, when he was a part of it, and then it's like you have these memories when he's not. So I mean, it's a lot to deal with as a kid, to have somebody go in and out like that, and I definitely feel where you coming from with that.
Yeah, man. But, we all right.
You made it, right?
Pressure makes diamonds. You know what I'm saying? But, Sean, you did okay with not being there because look at me now. And now you're reaching out to me. And I'm like, kick rocks. But, gentlemen, this has been a good conversation. I want to appreciate. Hey, please tell us about Harvard Boulevard. The hours are open where they can follow you on Instagram to check out the apparel and everything.
Harvard Boulevard located on Alameda and Sophomore. Open from 12 to 8 p.m. daily, Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday.
Okay.
Just feel free, stop by.
No doubt. And then Live Oak Lounge and Grill, I host a brunch there every second and fourth Sunday at Live Oak. It's a brunch. It be lit. Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then y'all be having a bunch of stuff. Y'all always open.
There's always stuff going on. But yeah, we're located at 2533 Sophomore. It's right off 288 in Sophomore. We're open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday. Like KG said, we're open for brunch on Sundays. Every other day we open at 4. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and at Live Oak HTX.
That's what's up. Shelby Johnson from Live Oak and Brandon Eaton from Harvard Boulevard. Appreciate y'all coming through. Happy Father's Day to you again, Brandon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I am your host, KG Smooth. On the phone line with me, two lovely young ladies. One young lady, Houston, you probably know pretty well, one of the original members of Destiny's Child, here right from Houston, the lovely LaTavia Roberson. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am wonderful. How about you, darling?
I'm doing all right. I ain't got no complaints. Good to hear you. And you got your good girlfriend on the line, Tosi. Tosi, I don't want to butcher your last name. Can you pronounce your last name for me?
Yeah, sure. It's Tosi Ufodike. Hey, what's up? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. We are so excited about you all calling in and to talk about Dare to Aspire. So let's get right into it. The Dare to Aspire Conference, it's the 7th annual Dare to Aspire Conference. What is Dare to Aspire and what was the inspiration behind coming up with this concept?
Great. Well, this is Tosi. And yeah, Dare to Aspire is really a platform that inspires women and moms to start and grow a small business. So we are so excited that, we're honoring Houston's own with this conference that's going to be Sunday, June 25th at Hotel Derrick. And it's all about female empowerment, women empowerment. You can do great things no matter your past or your current situation. So that's the whole premise behind Dare to Aspire.
Nice. And LaTavia, you are going to be the keynote speaker at this year's conference. How did you get involved with Dare to Aspire?
I actually got a phone call, and I'm actually very humble that I was asked to be a part of this event. It's the 7th conference, and it's the first time that it's going to be in Houston, so I'm really excited, especially because I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I love everything that this program is about. I love definitely women empowerment, and especially young mothers, single mothers. I'm a single mother myself, and so I understand how it is. And I think that it's very important for communities, especially of women. We are definitely being empowered, and I think that it's just so important for us to all come together and help one another. There's room on here. There's space for all of us to make things happen, especially if we can do it together.
Absolutely. And I love that message, especially, coming from a successful woman like yourself. It seems as though when women, especially of color, become successful, we've gotten better, but in the past there has not been a lot of support. There's been some, backstabbing, some, just throwing shade, trying to pull their name in the dirt so they won't be successful. I haven't seen a lot of that within maybe the past, 2-3 years. So I'm glad to see that progression, but that is a very important message. How do you all feel about that? Have women, black women, evolved from the, petty cattiness when it comes to, being a business owner and starting your own?
This is LaTavia. I would say I think so. I think that it's still a work in progress because I think we all, as young ladies and as women, I think that we're all still a work in progress. It's just the only thing that I can say is that it's still a shame that no matter when you get yours, it's always about making my business better than yours. It's not about this. And I think that if women, and just us as a people, period, sometimes I think it's important if you stay in your own lane and don't put yourself in competition with everybody because of everything. And of course, this is a competitive world. It's a competitive society. But there are still ways that we can work together and ways for everyone to be successful. I do think that it's evolving. I think that evolution is definitely always happening for sure. And I love to see that there are so many women coming together, especially like you said, women can be catty sometimes and things like that. So I think that it's just great the direction that everybody is going in.
Absolutely. You're listening to Access.
And I want to add something because this is Tosi. Yeah, for me, when I think of black women, we got to kind of look at the facts, right? Mm-hmm. So black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs. And events like Dare to Aspire, which started, I'm a black woman, it's really been supported by a lot of phenomenal black women. And when I think about, because I've been in business for many years and I've worked with all races, I've seen cattiness among all races. So for black women, I just think that, we're evolving, we're changing, we're supportive. And one thing I love about our conference, Dare to Aspire, all that drama and pettiness, we don't have it. Like everybody is either a boss or trying to boss up and really support each other. And so that's the whole message is like women supporting women, hashtag let's, support and empower each other. And so that's again the message.
Absolutely. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Tosi and LaTavia from Dare to Aspire, our very own LaTavia Roberson, who will be the keynote speaker for Dare to Aspire, which is happening Sunday, June 25th at Hotel Derrick. You can register right now. Tosi, what's the website that they can go to register?
Yes, please. It's www.aspire.com. We're on all social media at Dare, DARE, 2 Aspire. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and we would love tickets are only $49.99. There's brunch, there's mimosas. We're going to have vendors and just an amazing lineup of, speakers that are going to be there in Houston.
I'm glad that you mentioned
really
that.
Excited.
Yeah, talk about the honorees who are going to be there for Dare to Aspire. You got some big H-Town names on this roster.
Yes, we do. H-Town represent. So, okay, we have Denise Wedderburn. She's Houston makeup artist. She specializes in bridal makeup, amazing Houston, originally from Jamaica, but living in Houston, giving back to the Houston community. We have Miss Mikey, who, a lot of you might know. She's a recording artist, a TV personality, a talented host. Can't wait to hear her story. We have Kia Renee. She's a TV personality, a model, a host. She's also hosts the Session Talk Show right in Houston, Houston local. We have Brittany King, who has an HR background and started her business, after a divorce, and, just a single mom doing great, great things. And she's going to be speaking. And then we have Erin Creeks, who's the owner of Miss Independent. She talks about being single in Houston and just how she, started her event planning business with over 300 successful events. And, she's going to be sharing, and she's also a blogger. We also have Monique Mohobs, who's a brand strategist. She's a native of Houston, and, she's going to be there and talking about her journey and just her multi-dimensional brands and everything she has going on. We also, which I really, really love, because we're also about, not shaming people no matter what circumstances they have. Mm-hmm. We have Keisha Johnson, who's an author, HIV and AIDS educator, and she's been in the music industry and has a lot. And then finally, Swag Essentials CEO, Lydia Evans.
Oh, Lyd.
And
I love Lydia.
And she was actually at our Atlanta. Yeah, she is a bomb. She was at our Atlanta event. And now, she's really just so supportive of what we're doing. So, and then, of course, Houston's own, LaTavia, and we are so excited because she's such, and I can say this about her, she's just so giving, so humble, and we just love it. So we're excited.
Yeah, we love LaTavia. I host The Quiet Storm on our sister station, Magic 102.1, and when LaTavia was in town, she stopped by, and I had her on The Quiet Storm, and we had some great conversation, LaTavia. We did. So thank you, ladies, for your time. Listen, Dare to Aspire, happening Sunday, June 25th at Hotel Derrick. You can register now at D2Aspire.com. That's the letter D, the number 2, Aspire.com. Sunday, June 25th, that's next Sunday, at Hotel Derrick. The keynote speaker will be Houston's own LaTavia Roberson, and the honorees, some of H-Town's finest: Keisha Johnson, Brittany King, Denise Wedderburn, Lydia Evans, Miss Mikey, Monique Hobbs, Kia Renee, and Erin Creeks. And it's going to be a great time. These elite group of professional women taking on being mothers and business owners and just all that black girl magic. So thank you, ladies, for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.